Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and I'm here with my initial review of the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And I gotta say, man, this phone is making a really good first 24-hour impression so far, from design, display, just performance with the 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gig storage version that I got. This thing is just beautiful. Let's see if I can get that mirror look going there. Aura Glow. It is just such a fantastic color. And yes, I do personally kind of like some of the other colors a bit better, but my wife insisted, you got to get this color. You have to do it. I think she likes it even more than I do. But anyway, let's talk quickly about the laundry list here. Design, display, performance, quick audio test, and then sharing some camera samples. But I'll also be going over some of the other aspects of this phone, like the S Pen and some of the other cool kind of new camera features that are included as well. So let's have a look. But before we do that, let's quickly have a look at what is inside the box. So lifting here, and you see that is the 12 gig 256 storage version that I have, and I got it in that Aura Glow. This is the Hong Kong version, so the price of this bad boy is 7,000, just over 7,000 Hong Kong dollars. And once you factor in the fact they're throwing in a free Galaxy Fit band, which I'm going to be picking up soon, then the price goes down even a little bit more. That's still close to 1,000 US dollars. That's a heck of a ton of money, so this had better be a pretty damn good phone. But let's look now at what is inside the box. Let's bring it to the other side here, pull that out there, and here we have the SIM ejector tool. And now in here, and I don't have to even take it out because I already know what was in there, there are some books, some stuff like that. It looks like the warranty card. And in there also was included this TPU case, which fits very snugly to the phone. Let's throw that aside there. What is inside the box? We have the AKG headphones, and these are USB-C headphones now. Just slide those open there. There it is. Yep, USB-C headphones. No headphone jack on this Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So a big wow for you guys who care about that kind of thing. USB-C charging cable. And now let's see what is in the box in terms of charger. We have the super fast charging. That is very positive, but that's it for the box. Now let's go straight to the phone. So starting with design. We have a 7.9 millimeter thick device here, 196 grams. So definitely on the heftier side, definitely feels heavy. But you know what? There are a lot of phones I've been testing recently, like let's bring over here the Asus ROG Phone 2. This thing is 240 grams. And gosh, once you've held this bad boy, holding this Note 10 Plus almost feels very light in comparison. Talking about the back of this phone, we got this beautiful Corning Gorilla Glass on the back, and this should be Gorilla Glass 6 if I'm not mistaken. And we have beautiful aluminum, just gorgeous edges here. Everything is built so tight there, and everything is just so put together. Let's look around the sides of this phone. We have at the top the SIM tray, and nothing on this side, but you look at that sheen there. You see how that, even at this angle, you get that Aura Glow effect. USB-C, obviously we have the S Pen, we'll be talking about that in a second. And on this side, very interesting kind of thing that they've done here. They've actually moved the buttons, volume rocker and power button, to the left side of the phone. Now I'm a lefty, so for me, this actually works out pretty well. And I think for some of you guys, that may be one of the biggest changes that you're gonna have to get over if you get this phone. From a design perspective, this thing is beautiful. This thing is gorgeous. This color is just spectacular. This is probably the nicest phone that I've ever tested, the most beautifully built phone that I've ever tested. It's just a step above even the Galaxy S10 Plus, the Note 7 Pro, the iPhone XS Max, any of the phones I've tested. So kudos to you, Samsung. You've done a really good job from the design department here. Incredible. Display. We have a 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED Quad HD panel with HDR Plus compatibility. It's got always-on display capability as well. And gosh, because of the small bezels, look at the bezels on this phone. They just completely melt away, and you have this amazing bezel-less look. Now, I understand some of you guys are like, oh, it's not fully bezel-less. There's a notch. There's a punch hole. Guys, this punch hole is so much smaller than what I expected. If you've used the Galaxy S10 Plus in the past, you know that that capsule cutout was pretty significant. This one is so much smaller, and you can see it there. It really doesn't intrude. Now, yes, watching content, I think it may intrude. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I think from just day-to-day use, it doesn't bother me. And there's something about the symmetry of this that works. You have notifications. You have stuff that can exist on both sides of the phone. So this is really more for your kind of battery, your reception, and these other aspects. And then this other side is really more about, let's see here, your notifications or kind of any phone apps in the background like GSM battery monitor will show up on this side. So display-wise, this thing is gorgeous. And honestly, let's do this together here because I wanted to do this earlier. There's a little bit of a cloud you see over the whole display. That's because I haven't taken off this main protection. I will be adding a screen protector on this, but let's do it together. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. And now let's look at this thing. Amp up the brightness here. This display gets plenty bright as well. And the level of detail, look at that, is just only something that a Quad HD panel can provide. But now I do want to actually put this phone next to some of the other phones I've been testing. And the only other panel that I feel even comes close to giving you that kind of experience is this one right here from the OnePlus 7 Pro. But you know, it's crazy to think that the OnePlus 7 Pro, we thought it had the smallest top and bottom bezels of any phone of 2019. The Galaxy Note 10 Plus has it beat. The top bezels are even smaller on both sides, and the side bezels are even smaller. These phones are going for almost 100% screen to body ratios. This one is beyond 90 plus. It's going to get to 100 in a couple of years. But for now, that is one display I wanted to compare it to. And another display I also wanted to compare it to was the one from the beloved K20 Pro. This phone is featured a lot on my channel, but let's put it to a white point there in the settings so you can see how these phones compare. The bottom bezels here definitely larger on the K20 Pro, and what do you have on the K20 Pro that eliminates the need for that notch is obviously that pop-up camera right there. But what do you gain from having this punch hole here in the middle? Well, you get IP68 waterproofing on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And this is a phone I could literally bring into the shower or into a pool without worries. This phone I can do that with, and these two I cannot. So that is a major bonus here of having this punch hole in the display. You don't have any moving parts as well, so there's less reliability issues that you may run into. And so there are gives and takes. There are, let's just say, compromises for having that punch hole. But given the display quality of the rest of the display, as you can see here, the colors just pop. I don't mind that trade-off still, and I still think if you had to give me an option here, which is the most beautiful display of these three phones, I'm going to have to go with the one on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. It is just incredible. And here's YouTube playback on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Let's maximize it. And guys, the sound, gotta lower that. I can't even hear myself. This speaker is loud. I can already tell, even without playing music yet, just in the kind of talking segment of this, it is loud. And wow, I mean, I think minus the punch hole, which to some of you guys may be a bit of an eyesore, this is one of the most immersive displays I've seen for watching content probably ever. I mean, yes, there's the punch hole. To some of you guys, that will be a deal breaker. You don't have to buy this phone. You move on. You have the pop-up camera as your solution in the market. But to anyone who still wants waterproofing, who still wants probably the nicest display on the market, this is the best AMOLED display I've definitely ever seen. I can overlook that punch hole for these tiny bezels on each side. This thing is almost like the closest thing I've ever had to holding a display in your hand. Like if you just hold it right there, it almost looks like I'm just holding a display, like it's been photoshopped in or something. So viewing content on this is great. And I think the other nice added bonus, Samsung does include this one switch in settings, and I'll show you guys very quickly where that is. Here we are in Video Enhancer. So this will actually enhance the image quality of your videos to enjoy brighter and more vivid colors. So once you turn that on, you see how that changes the look. And now let's go back here to that same video I was looking at. And look at that. That does make quite a difference. It looked nice before, but now the colors, they just pop off the screen. That is just great. So don't worry about watching content on this. If you buy this phone, you will have the best content consumption device that maybe has ever been released. And for any of you guys who do not like the punch hole, well, you have all the other options on the market of those pop-up cameras like the OnePlus 7 Pro, which I feel is probably the second best next to the now Note 10 Plus in terms of watching content. And in DRM Info, obviously much to be expected here. L1, clearly this global version of the S10 Plus will be able to play HD Netflix. And now let's quickly move over also to performance. There are the Geekbench scores. And so you see with a 3,400 single core, 10,795 multi-core, this is very much in line with the other Snapdragon 855 phones I've tested. So with 12 gigs of RAM, this will have no problem holding apps in memory, and you just shouldn't be worried about performance whatsoever. And just quick mention here, the Exynos version of this may have different benchmarks versus the Snapdragon 855. I personally choose the 855 because obviously it's the Hong Kong version, but also I think that Adreno 640 will be a much better option for gaming overall. And here we are with G-SAM battery monitor and with an incredible 4,300 milliampere battery. This phone, I've read some kind of reports already. People have been testing it that it will go a full day, almost 21 hours of use. I have yet to test this phone for battery myself. I plugged it in actually as of yesterday. It's been going for quite a while now, and I'm at 61%. So you can see here what my usage has been. So 61%, and my battery usage so far has been 2 hours and 38 minutes of screen on time. Clearly the phone is still setting up, and there's, I think the battery life will definitely improve after a bit of time. But you know what? I can see this ending up being probably a 6 or 7 hour screen on time device, maybe even more, but we'll wait and see for those results. And so now let's talk about it. One of the features that makes this Note 10 Plus so unique is the S Pen. Now, I dropped a Twitter comment yesterday, said I used the S Pen once. Guys, I'm not a huge S Pen believer or follower. I know some of you Note fans love it, but you know what? It does, I will say, make this phone unique in the market. And so you see there, the moment I took out the S Pen, I'm able to create a note right off the bat. But the other thing that is very kind of important to keep in mind here is that this can also work to kind of manage the device here and can actually be used in terms of gestures. Kind of not used to using an S Pen, so I think your kind of handwriting or your legibility will vary dependent on how you use it, but you can kind of use it to actually navigate the phone as well. But one thing I did want to get into real quick here was the AR Doodle feature, so let's go ahead and try it out. So I'm going to try to find my face. There I am, and let's go ahead and put a little crown on me there. Let's kind of draw some hair for me, and I don't know if you can see that because of the glare, but let's try to do it. This is kind of getting a bit crazy, but there you go. Let's just give you an idea of what of what that might look like when you use AR Doodle. And I must say it actually tracks really well. It's holding on, and that is pretty cool for you to be able to do that. I can put some sunglasses on. Now, obviously, this is a really bad example, but very cool that you can still actually keep this drawing there, and then you can probably save it or record. What's up, guys? It's Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again. There you go. Let's play that back. What's up, guys? It's Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again. That is absolutely terrifying, but this S Pen really has a lot of other features to it. The one I think I probably will use the most is when the display is off and you're at the grocery store. You want to actually record something or just kind of jot something down that came to mind. Right on the screen, dude. Remember to buy milk. There you go. And then you just save that. And so that is a very nifty feature, I think, of the S Pen that I enjoy. But obviously the air gestures and all that other gimmicky crap, I really don't think that anyone is going to use that stuff. So just a few quick highlights here of using the S Pen. I think it's a nifty tool, a little bit of a gimmick in this day and age now. But to those I know users who swear by it, well, there you go. And so quickly wanting to mention the audio quality of this phone. So as you know, the biggest controversy of the Galaxy Note 10 series is the removal of the headphone jack, and they removed all those commercials making fun of Apple when they had the headphone jack. So interesting how companies kind of change their tune, and Samsung has clearly changed their tune here with the lack of the headphone jack. Is it a deal breaker? Well, for you guys who Note 9 or Note 8 lovers and users, it might be a deal breaker. That might just make this phone now a no-go. For someone like me, I've been talking about the benefits of just Bluetooth solutions for the past 2 years. I've been using AirPods, I've been using the new Sony kind of wireless headphones, and they are great Bluetooth solutions. So it's a non-issue for me. I really don't mind, but I can understand for any of you guys who do care, that would be a major deal breaker and a no-go for this phone. But now let's listen to a little bit of the sound on this Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I'm going to throw in here the OnePlus 7 Pro also to compare it to. So let's have a listen. So what can I say? A very interesting audio test result here with these two phones. The OnePlus 7 Pro wins in one regard, and that is loudness. Just for total kind of loudness in decibels and the experience, the OnePlus 7 Pro would win it. But I still think the overall winner here is the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. The sound, although not as loud as the one on the OnePlus 7 Pro, still has more range. There's just better mids. The bass sounds clearer. The sounds of this lounger song, which are very kind of like dreamy, a little bit kind of dancey, you can make out more when you listen to it on this Note 10 Plus over the OnePlus 7 Pro, where it just sounds a little bit more muddled, in my opinion. So when it comes to loudness, this one wins, but I think for just overall sound quality, I pick the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And so one of the things I wanted to mention before I forget is the inclusion of Dolby Atmos here on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So that will make a major difference in just the way sounds play out on this phone. And let me just play this music here. Wow. And the dual firing speakers on this Galaxy Note 10 Plus are the reason why it's sounding so great. So let's go ahead and play a quick game here of Asphalt 9. And loving to see that the entire display is used here on this phone. That is a welcome sight. The Adreno 640, guys, it's not going to have any problems playing this game. But just want to show you how this content here, how this gaming looks. Let's go. Here we go. Oh yeah, really turn up the volume there for you guys to experience that. Let's turn it around, get some nitrous. Oh yeah, this thing is gaming like a beast. And gosh, honestly, I don't even see the hole punch, guys. All I see is that this phone is edge-to-edge gaming, edge-to-edge action. Samsung, you got a winner on your hands here, I think. This might be the most immersive game of Asphalt 9 I have ever played. Wow. Why am I so gushing about this? There's just something about the small bezel. Look at that. There's just something about the way the display plays this game. It just covers the entire edge to edge of this panel. There are literally millimeters on each side here. And it just makes gaming so enjoyable. So gosh, hands down there. That was epic. But stay tuned, obviously, in future comparisons, I will be pitting this against some of my favorites, like the OnePlus 7 Pro and K20 Pro in gaming, and obviously in PUBG. Stay tuned for that, and we'll see who the true gaming champion is. And now let's wrap up with camera here in this getting pretty long initial review. We got the main sensors of this Galaxy Note 10 Plus, which is a 12 megapixel f1.5 to 2.4 aperture wide angle lens. We got a 12 megapixel telephoto and then the 16 megapixel ultra wide, and those are f2.1 and f2.2 respectively. We also have a time of flight 3D VGA camera. You see it there. So that would be the fourth camera on this phone. It really isn't a fourth camera. It's more just to get more depth sensing and more kind of a 3D analysis of the space. So really more of a triple camera setup you have here on this phone. And so last but not least, we'll talk about the selfie front camera. We have a 10 megapixel f2.2 aperture. It is also capable for the first time ever of 4K 30 FPS video on the front camera. And that is pretty neat. And the front video size can be adjusted. There it is to UHD. So front facing 4K video. Incredible. There you go. And so like the S10 Plus before it, you can have these toggles that go from regular to zoomed in to ultra wide. quick shot of BB-8. And so let's have a look at the shot of BB-8 there. Looks pretty good. A lot of detail, and it's a nice day here in Hong Kong. But the one thing I wanted to show here was this live focus video, and I can't really show it here on BB-8, and I don't have anyone else here in the room with me. So what I can do is pull up the video that I showed you guys earlier here on this iPad mini, and I'm going to play just a few seconds of my face in this video. Believe it or not, this can not just do AR and kind of detection of live focus video on regular people in kind of day-to-day use. It can do it on video as well. So let's go ahead and get this ready here, and you can see what I mean. There it goes, and now I'm putting on. Do you see that effect that's happening there? Look at that, and it changes the entire back setting there to this like cartoony or black and white. Let's do that again. That is so cool. There it is. It's doing that blurred effect there. Black and white. And even that cartoony effect. So how cool is that? That is just incredible that you can even use this live focus video on a subject that's not even there. It detected the face in the video. And so some really awesome features here on this Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Let me now show you some of the samples I've been taking here on the Note 10 Plus. And hit me up in the comments. What do you think? This is rear-facing video on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, 4K, 60 frames per second. Nice golden afternoon here in Hong Kong. Very warm though. You can see some of the flowers there. Very nice. Birds are chirping. And there's our building in the distance. But hit me up in the comments, guys. What do you think? And this is front-facing video on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And this is 4K 30 frames per second. Looks really good. Actually very impressed because no other phones have this kind of capability on the front camera. Out and about on this very warm, sunny day. But hit me up in the comments, guys. What do you think? So that's it for this video and my final verdict on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And I can say this unequivocally, this is the best phone that Samsung has ever delivered to the public. From design, display, performance, just overall specs, features, and this just amazing build quality. I mean, this Galaxy Note 10 Plus is firing on all cylinders. And, you know, amazingly enough, I think considering the price point, gosh, this phone is actually worth the money. And I would say this phone, the Note 10 Plus, not the regular Note 10, which is lacking in a number of features, including that Quad HD display, smaller battery, and just less other capabilities like micro SD card, some of those other things that you guys value. I think if you have the money and you love the Note brand and you love Samsung, you have your answer right here. This phone is incredible. But recently I did my best phone so far of mid-2019, and I did have some players that I named the best overall phones so far of 2019. And those were, of course, the K20 Pro, which comes in at a much lower price. In fact, you could buy two K20 Pros for the price of one Galaxy S10 Plus. And we have the OnePlus 7 Pro as well. And this also is a phone that you could buy at least 1.5 OnePlus 7 Pros, or you could buy one OnePlus 7 Pro and maybe a nice camera as well for the price of this Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So there's some major price difference between these three phones. Which one do I think is the best? Well, you're going to have to wait, guys, because that's going to be my upcoming video and comparison between this Galaxy Note 10 Plus, the K20 Pro, and the OnePlus 7 Pro, and I'll be working on that very soon. But in the meantime, just think about this. These two phones bring so much to the table, but I'm telling you right now, for $1,000, there might not be a better phone on the market that you can get than the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. How is that all going to kind of work out in the final analysis? We'll have a see at that point, and stay tuned for that comparison video. But for now, that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. So, good times here, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more great content here on this Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I know it's coming out to a lot of you guys tomorrow, so enjoy your Note 10 Pluses and Note 10s. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech, signing off. Have a good one.